Chairman, Commission members, my name is State Senator Sam Slom, 9th District on Oahu, and I'm offering brief testimony, which I sent in yesterday. I presume you all received it. Got copies, thank you. I'm here as a voter, a representative of dozens of constituents who asked me to express their outrage at the election process, and also as the Senate Minority Leader who appointed two of you to the Elections Commission. Let me say, first of all, that I recognize the work that you do, how difficult it is, and the many responsibilities that you have. But having said that, I think that it has become clear in our community that things are not right and changes must be made. Our right to vote is our most fundamental constitutional right, and the Office of Elections is charged with the responsibility to ensure that right and the process that goes with it. The office has one basic responsibility, and that is to run a efficient, honest, productive election every 2 years. That's it. Error-free. This year in the general election, there was a major failure that particularly affected my senatorial district in East Honolulu and polling places on Oahu. A simple "I apologize" I don't feel is adequate or sufficient. And all of those errors, all of them, were avoidable. Quite simply, there must be a change in leadership. What you just heard now is what the public sees. He says, she says, discontent, division between the counties and the state, division between the executive branch and this office. In order to regain and retain trust in our process, we have to do something differently. And a lot of people point to just what happened in August in the primary and September in the general as being the problem. So I went back here and just had a very brief list of things that I've been personally involved with over the years. Irregularities in the 1998 election tally. Evidence of voter fraud in several subsequent elections. Irregularities and cost overruns in voter machine contracts. Several egregious errors under the control of the former head, Mr. Cronin. Disenfranchisement of Hawaii Armed Forces voters. Action against Hawaii by the federal government because of late military balloting. Misinformation given regarding tenure of the Senate during the 2010 elections. In other words, people telling us who were running, oh, you're a 4-year term. Oh no, these are all 4-year terms. And we asked specifically, wait a minute, reapportionment, isn't there a staggered, isn't there 2 years? Oh no, it's 4-year terms. We even got it in writing. And there were people that were surprised after the 2010 election to learn that all of the election was for 2 years only in the Senate. This kind of misinformation or lack of information really is inexcusable. A testimony by the Office of Elections against the Oahu military voters during the recent reapportionment and the subsequent and continuing legal action that is ongoing. A failed campaign to increase voter turnout. The Hawaii Island meltdown during the primary. And then the general election with ballot alpha printing mistakes, the duplicate Manoa ballots, missing candidate names, wrong districts, shortage in paper ballots in 24 polling sites, as well as the long delays and the disenfranchisement of people who in fact did not get to vote and were turned away on November 6th. This erodes the confidence of the public, it makes them angered, and it cries out for action. And as I said, I have confidence in you. I know that you can do things, but you must act. Look, I just came out of 2 months of investigation of the University of Hawaii, and I want to tell you that the public is really mad. The public is incensed that our public institutions are not being led well, and that people are pointing fingers like this. Nobody's taking responsibility, but more importantly, nobody is willing to come forward and be transparent and accept the responsibility for these mistakes. And more importantly, to make changes. when I was preparing my written testimony yesterday, all of you got the message from the governor, who has weighed in on this process, although it is the legislature that has final determination of any changes that have been made in the structure. But the governor has come forward because he too is getting pressure. He's turned over an investigation to the Attorney General. I know that you're doing an internal audit. I don't know whether that's going to be completed today or when it is going to be completed. But it's got to be unlike other audits done by other state agencies, because the public is at the end of their ropes in terms of feeling that no one is taking action and no one is being held accountable, and that there are no consequences. There's got to be a consequence for these actions. Some have called even for the election to go back under the control of the Lieutenant Governor or some other elected official. I personally think that would be a mistake. I reiterate, I have confidence in you as an independent body, but you've got to stand up, speak out, and take action. I do not think that any changes, including full electronic voting or absentee ballots in and of themselves, will either increase the turnout. We have other problems that we're all aware of. It definitely could decrease costs, although it was interesting. I saw in the news last night, right after the governor's announcement, there was an announcement from the Office of Elections that, oh, you won't save any money. In fact, it may even be more costly because of the number of people that would have to be involved with processing the absentee ballots and electronic voting. That doesn't make any sense at all. It doesn't make any sense to the common person and to the voter. We have to find ways of making this process more intelligible and more cost-effective. So in conclusion, I would urge you today to take strong, decisive actions, expediting your internal review, adopting a specific and fail-safe future action plan, and replacement of current leadership. Those are my comments. I'd be glad to try and answer any questions. Thank you.
Carolyn, I don't, it could just be me. I'd like a copy of